It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 take, go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Okay, we're going to continue with our driver press conferences here at Richmond International Raceway. We're pleased to be joined in the infield media center by Jeff Gordon, driver of the number 24 DuPont Nicorette Chevrolet this weekend. Jeff currently 10th in points and right on the verge of getting that spot, coveted spot in the clinching a spot in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. He's got 2 wins here at Richmond, 12 top 5s, 19 top 10s. He sat on the pole 5 times. Very good track for you, Jeff. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's been a great track for us. Even here recently, you know, there was a couple years ago when we struggled at this track, and a lot of it was with the brakes, and we've seemed to resolve that, and it's got us back on track, and back, you know, as this being one of our best tracks. So looking forward to it. Obviously, we were pretty quick in practice, so not thrilled about this rain that's on its way, but because I would like to have qualified. I think we could be better than 10th, where you know the points will put us, and just looking forward to tomorrow night or Sunday afternoon or whatever it may be. I know weather's going to be a big issue this weekend, but you know, we did what we needed to do in California. We're thrilled about it. Came here with a game plan, and it's been paying off so far.
Questions for Jeff Gordon? If you have one, raise your hand. We'll bring you the wireless. We'll start back over here.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Jeff, this place over the period of the chase for you has not always been an easy place. It's been kind of an anxious place. And looking at this thing, because every year you come here, there's some people hanging on or people trying to get in. Could it be that this race has come down to where maybe there's more drama here because this is the last chance to get in than maybe there is in any given race in the chase itself? Is there more drama and focus and electricity right here than if you take any given race except for maybe Homestead itself?
Well, I think, you know, in the chase it just all depends on how the points are being played out, and I think the chase is still fairly new, and so we've seen some serious drama. I think it was the first year of the chase when we had Kurt Busch, you know, whatever year that was, Kurt Busch, when we had 3 of us going for it down to the last lap in Homestead. That was pretty dramatic. This race is dramatic. It's just about storylines, as you guys know. You know, it's important to make it into the chase. Didn't matter if it was 10 or now 12. There's always going to be a tight battle of who's going to be in and who's going to be out, so it's a good storyline. But I still don't think it stacks up to the storyline of you know, going for the championship. You know, I think that to me is a lot more dramatic, and you know, there's a lot more excitement that is potentially there. You know, for the championship, but this race, you know, is an important race. I mean, a lot of us, I think, have been thinking about this race for a while, especially the guys that haven't been locked in, knowing that this is a big race for us. And then you've got the guys trying to stay in the top 35. That race is really heated up and is a good story. And then you've got Carl, and Jimmy, who have really, you know, been the guys to beat here recently, that are trying to get those coveted bonus points going into the momentum going into the chase. So to me, there's a lot of good storylines here, and maybe that's what makes this a great race and all the stories.
Go ahead.
Tom Jensen, SpeedTV.com. Jeff, the one thing you've really battled this year is consistency. You've had some weeks where you've run really well and some weeks where you haven't run well. Assuming you make it into the chase, what's your personal forecast for, you know, do Do you think you'll have something for him?
Yeah, you know, you're right. I mean, it has been inconsistent for us this year, and you hear drivers talk a lot about it. If you were in our debriefs and in our meetings, you would hear me talk more about it than probably anybody. And the inconsistency is not just with our performance; it's in these bump stops that we have to run on. I can't stand them, you know, and trying to get them figured out is just near impossible. And some have done a better job with it. Maybe it suits some guys' driving styles better, but it's one of the things that challenges us, and especially this year. And you know, you can go off last year and say, oh, well, you were good at this track and this track and this track. Yeah, that's true. But if we went back there with the same old setups, we wouldn't be as competitive, just because teams have gotten better and you know, we've learned more about, you know, how we set these cars up. Then you add in the mile and a halves, you know, and it's a whole nother challenge. And that's the biggest inconsistency that we've had, is whether we're on the left front bump stop, right front bump stop, both bump stops, the timing of the bump stops. We've just had one heck of a time trying to get the front of the car to be consistent in and through the corner at a lot of tracks. And when you see us running good, it's usually because we've got those close, and allows me to do what I need to do. You know, that's when I say we had a game plan. You know, we learned some things. We're learning things every week. Ironic thing, last week, Jimmy and his team went to Kentucky to test on Monday. Our team was scheduled to be there on Tuesday. Jimmy got a full day in. It rained on Tuesday. We didn't get any testing in, and those guys took some of that information that they learned, took it to California. Obviously, that worked really well for them. We didn't have the chance to test it, so we didn't want to race it. And you know, that's how close this stuff can be. Every week you can learn something and find something that can work, you know, the next week or a couple weeks down the road. And so, you know, I was very happy with today because I feel like we're really starting to get some things figured out. And I hate that it's coming this late in the season, because we've had some missed opportunities. But all that matters to me at this point, with the type of year we're having, is that we're making gains.
We'll go to David and then over to Bob. Go ahead.
David Caravella, NASCAR.com. Jeff, given what you experienced last year, you know, finishing third, fourth every race in the chase and not being able to make up ground on Jimmy because he was winning, does that lead you to think that whoever wins it all this year is going to have to win multiple races in the chase? And if so, does that narrow the field of serious contenders?
Again, that's the thing that I think is exciting about the chase, is you just never know. I mean, a guy can go and, you know, Kyle Busch can go to New Hampshire and Kansas second race and crash both races, and all of a sudden this thing's wide open, you know, or somebody hits on something and you know, starts a streak that they haven't had before. I mean, we saw last year with Clint Boyer, goes and wins the first race, and nobody expected that. And so there's too many unpredictable circumstances. I think you can look at the teams that you think are going to be the ones to be. I just think one of these years with the chase format, somebody's going to be a surprise. You're going to have guys with momentum. You're going to have guys with you know, an incredible record like those three I mentioned, and might not even be a factor, you know, because of whatever, bad luck, whatever it may be. So I'm not saying that's going to be the case. Who knows? That's why we're all, you know, all you guys are going to be in the media center, and why we're going to be out there racing is to find out. I do think this year with Kyle's performance of getting all those bonus points, I think that gives him a huge advantage going into the chase over, not so much over Carl, but a little bit over Jimmy, and then a tremendous amount over all the guys that have maybe one or two wins. And it's going to make it much tougher for those guys. As good as the 18 is running, it's going to make it tougher for those guys like myself to make up that ground. We need them to have some tough luck, and we've got to get on a roll now, which we haven't been able to do over 26 races or 5 so far. But we're still optimistic.